So let's go to the biomechanics. You have too much knee flex for your height. You're a big upper body guy. You have your hands too close to your body for your build. All right, now how do I know that? If you pushed your hips back by sliding your hands down your thighs until you reach the top of your knees, okay, and put your hands together, that's exactly how I want you to get in posture. Now, you have a chest, you have mass here. You can't be in here because you're all bound up. So what I want to do is lift the shaft of the club to a slightly more vertical position and get the club flat on the ground. I think the toes off the ground. So I want the club up a little bit. Why? That'll give you a little more space between the end of the club and your body and a little less knee flex. You're close to being very, very much what I would call stable. You want to stack your load-bearing joints. So what does that mean? Your knee joints should be over your ankle joints. The ball of your foot and the top of your knee should be in alignment. You're a little bit, just slightly too much flex in your knees, just slightly. The tip of your elbow and the top of your spine at T4 should be in a plumb, so you're pretty close. So just a fraction higher and a little less knee flex. We're talking about just going maybe an inch. Now your weight should be over the center of your feet. I want you to go and buy a foam roller and stand on it so you can be keenly sensitive to where your weight's distributed heel to toe, because that's really important. You're pretty stable though. And what I mean is your center of gravity, you're pretty stable. If I see people moving their head around a lot, they're not stable at address. Some people sit back, and then what your brain will do is seek balance. So during the swing, you'll move forward, or vice versa. If you're on your toes too much, you'll move back. So overall, your setup's pretty good. Just a little bit more space between it. Yeah, for your build, yeah, you're stocky, thick chest. Yep. All right. What else are we going to talk about? Well, back is not quite as straight as some of these guys, but that's okay. It's pretty good posture. But you asked me about the club. That's a good position at the top. The face is a little bit closed. Now, in order to play from there, okay, Zach Johnson's a closed face player. He has fast hips. I wouldn't call you fast hipped guy. You got a lot of sag in your knees. I want you to go into extension with your lead leg at contact, if you can. That would help you. Most guys on tour, I'm going to show you a guy that's pretty close to your build. Ben On. He might be a fraction taller, but here's what I want. I want it. Not so much worried about the club face, but his impact position. You see your right knee, how much flex you have in it? You sort of look like Tom Lehman there. He's sort of saggy in the knees and all that because he doesn't have a lot of hip rotation. I think you have a lot of hip rotation. I don't think you use what you have. I think you're flexible enough to do it. And I think you want to work on that extension into your lead leg. Now, I don't say go out on the golf course and do that, but yeah, at home, I want you to be pushing your left hip back and extending that left leg. Yep. All right. Why do I say that? Well, your hips go a little forward there, just a little bit. And that's because I don't think you get that left leg into extension. I don't think that lead leg straightens. Now, for the golf course, the club's going inside on the takeaway. That's the thing you're going to work on the golf course. The other stuff you're going to work on at home and do 50 reps of just putting a club diagonally across your feet. Let me have your club a second. I'll just show you. Put it at a 45-degree angle. across your right toe and your left heel, and you're going to work this left knee back as the right knee moves on a diagonal. And so that's the practice. Envision this knee not moving across the club. And that's the feeling you want. Most tour players are in the process of straightening that front leg on contact. And I'll show you a guy who really does it, and he's a shut face player like you are. Two guys. Koepka, very shut at the top. Okay, there's a shut club face. But watch the legs explode into extension. So you can see how much his right leg straightens, his left leg straightens. That's to keep the face square. Now why that happens is when the left hip goes up, that keeps the face square. So shut face players have a little more tilt and they go into extension more with that front leg. Graham McDowell, another big shut face player. Short backswing, shut at the top. See that left leg? His left heel comes off the ground. He straightened it. Notice how that face stays pretty square. Notice the tilt. Watch his head go back. The shoulder goes up. Why? Because the face is a little shut. If you tilt, that keeps the face on line. So those are some of the matching swing characteristics you want to have for shut face. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why? Well, that was the next question. You're probably wondering, well, why wouldn't I just fix it? Well, face angle is the most important characteristic for consistency. So if I change your club face position by changing your grip, you might start hitting it 50 yards to the right. Now, if we subtly change it, we have to figure out how we're going to change your ball flight. Do we want to change it through an internal cue of, I just want you to think of rotation and your hands following the rotation, or do I want to change your grip? That's a decision I got to make based on how I think you can make that adjustment, based on your allocation of time and what athletically is easiest for you to do. Certainly worth looking at. I don't want this takeaway to go inside though. So what does that mean? When the golf club goes back, the shaft of the club should point at your right hip when it's parallel to the ground. So that club's pointed in right field there. So I'm going to show you what I would prefer. And I'm going to show you back to on here. I don't like to see the club head get in behind the hands. You see how the club head and the hands are in a straight line there? So that's sort of where we're going now. How do you do that? It's simple. Just don't change the angle in your lead wrist. Keep your hands very passive. Alright. That'll change your ball flight. So yeah, you've got to, you see how your legs sort of stay flexed through the ball. So we're going to work on that. I'd like to see the club exit a little more to the left underneath your lead shoulder, like that. But we're going to work on it.